Yes.
All right.
Yes. So I'm up and ready this morning. So.
Beautiful. Guys, that's Molly in the upper right-hand corner. She's relatively new to, well, she's
hey guys.
basically brand new to real estate and brand new to Keller Williams and to productivity coaching. Watch out. She's got some big goals. She takes lots of notes, and she's going to rock it. So I'm excited. You guys are hopefully able to help her, and she can help you, and everyone can win together. All right. I am outside the Bold Room right now. Today, our topic is getting ready for 2022. So let's just take, it's a relatively small group right now. So let's just do a real quick around the room and talk a little bit about what have you done, or what are you thinking about doing over, let's say, the next 6 weeks or so, to make certain that you don't, quote, start getting ready for the new year on January 1. Because if that's the case, then you're going to be around ready to get started beginning of March, let's say, and everyone will have already found their realtor for the springtime. It's too late. So now is the time where we want you to make sure that all of the the tracking and the systems and the processes and the pipeline and the database and all that kind of stuff is getting more and more organized and more clear every single day. So tell me a little bit about, actually, let's do it slightly differently. Tell me what you are most excited for 2022, and the primary thing that you are working on to get ready for 2022. Let's start with that. Ryan, why don't you go first?
Okay. You said what I'm most...
What are you most excited about, and what are you either currently working on or is kind of like your big project, so to speak, for getting ready for next year?
Right. So excited. I guess I'm excited, like, to do something. Like I feel like everything's in place. Like, I'm just ready. Like, I'm excited to work with some people and to hopefully sell some homes. And I know some people that are interested in for next year. So it's like, I feel like there's potential, and like, I'm just excited to actually do the job. That would be what I'd be excited about.
Beautiful.
And as for planning or getting ready, it's I've actually done, I actually have been working on it. I printed out the whole, I think you'd said it, like the whole year calendar thing. So
yes.
Like, I got that like ready. I have one thing on it, but it's a start. And then I actually I signed up for like a sponsorship with the PTA business partners with the school. And so I get to send out one flyer during the year. So I'm already working on that. And I was thinking of sending that out in January. It goes home to all the students. And I also have a database of everybody at the school too. So I'm kind of trying to figure out like how to sort of, reach out to those people. And I get a booth at an event too. So I was all planning on doing a lot of that early spring, because that captures a lot of the people in the area, kind of as they're getting ready. So that was one of the things that I'm working on now.
That's awesome. Okay, I'm switching it up a little bit, because now I want to give you some feedback on that. We're gonna go around the room, and everyone's gonna get an opportunity to share, just like Ryan did. But let me give you a couple thoughts on that.
Okay.
So the first is this is applicable for everyone, of course. I love the year at a glance calendar, because remember, this is a business that I'm going to be super blunt with you and super vulnerable. If you allow this business to take over your world, it will. And so you have to be really, really, really cognizant to make sure that you have the personal time that you need, that you have the family time that you need, you have the vacation time that you need, spiritual time you need, whatever it may be. Because if you look hard enough, you will find somebody who will give you a task to do 24/7 in this business. So you got to be very, very protective. A great way to do that is to take that year at a glance calendar and say, all right, that's when we're going to the beach. That's when we're going to the mountains. That's when the kids are out of school. That's when my husband and I have our anniversary or whatever, right? And start to block out the time that you've committed to non-real estate activities, right? And then the next thing,
I found that online. I don't, if you can find it, like this is just one page, but it's got it all on there. And then I try to
Right.
make it bigger, but I'll have to tape a couple pages like together to be able to write more in it. But anyway, if you just need a.
Right. I mean, it's really like I oftentimes will print something out, make notes by hand, and then go back and change it from the computer version and then print out that version and make notes again. So like I tend to want to make my notes by writing, but I like the kind of where I'm at with my journal or whatever to be electronically saved as well. That is also a great way to plan your 36 touch, right? To say, hey, I'm going to call everyone every quarter. I'm going to have 2 client events. This is when I'm going to do the pie drive or the canned food drive. This is when I'm going to do the event at the school. This is when I'm going to do the, shredding event in the neighborhood or whatever it may be, right? This is going to be, let's say, the social media theme for January, the social media theme for February, right? And it really gives you the whole year to kind of look at it and plan accordingly. The other thing, Ryan, that you said that I think is really important is, as we all know, the chief priority is to get their information and to make sure that we know what might be driving a future decision for them, right? So I would consider calling every single person that has joined that business themed PTA and just say, hey, I saw that you and I are both part of this business organization, and I was just hoping, I want to learn more about your chiropractic office. Why don't we grab a cup of coffee, right? And you go and have one-on-one coffee with every single person, every one of them, and you're asking questions about them and their business and their passions, and you're allowing them to talk. You're weaving in real estate here and there, but the primary opportunity is for them to share about whatever the hell they want to share about, and you'd be there listening for something you can help them with. Right.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because there's a whole bunch of business sponsors at different levels, but they're most of it's
you're
all
going to have a lot of coffee.
Yeah, it's a lot of local stuff. So that's a good idea.
Right.
Because obviously they're invested in the same area or the same thing. So.
Well, they're sitting here thinking, how is this going to benefit me too?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And the second that they have a realtor, or anybody for that matter, call and say, hey, I'd like to hear more about your business. And ultimately, I'm on the phone every single day with people, buyers looking for sellers and sellers looking for buyers. And there's an incredibly good chance that I'm going to be on the phone with your ideal candidate today,
right?
Ideal prospect today. So I just want to learn more about your business. How would you like me to introduce that person to you? Should I recognize that they are the ideal candidate for you? So I think this is thematic for everyone, which is if you can figure out what your peer wants or what struggle they might be experiencing, and you can kind of look into the real estate, and business toolbox and deliver something that will help them, then you automatically become top of mind for whatever is important to you, right? And then when you say, hey, we're doing a shredding event, drop all your sensitive material by or whatever, right? Then they come out and support it. And when a bunch of people support it, everyone sees that you have a following and that you have influence. And that's how the business is built bit by bit. Great job.
And I just want to
look here.
one thing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
So
we can.
In the book, The 7 Levels of Communication, they talk about the power meetings where you sit at since you're having a lot of coffees, you arrange them all on the same day, and you go to a coffee shop where they know you, or you make sure they know you, and then you strategically place people so that the people who need to meet each other, and that also provides value to them, and it also shows that it makes you just look incredibly credible.
Yeah, that I'm glad you brought that up. I don't know if you've read that book, Candace, or I'm sorry, Ryan.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, it's a brilliant concept where let's say you're meeting with the chiropractor and having coffee with the chiropractor. Well, the next meeting that you set to coincide with the chiropractic person's coffee is, let's say, the massage therapist, or that they play tennis and this next person plays tennis or whatever, right? And so you strategically link these people up, and then you become the middle person between a newfound relationship where they're going to get even more support and more endorsement, right? And you're basically giving everyone a fine reputation to live up to, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, beautiful. Lakira, what are you most excited about for next year, and what is the big project that you're working on at the moment?
I think my biggest project is going to be branding and marketing.
Okay.
So I feel like that's something that'll take my business to the next level based on the type of people that I'm around. Having one cohesive look is important for me. Professionalism, so that people have faith in what you can do and in your brand.
Beautiful.
The other thing, I've been doing a lot of adding to my database, and I see that that's really, really, really important. It's the most important thing in staying organized and structured. So I just want to kind of stay on top of that.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. I think ultimately, and again, all my commentary is not assuming that you haven't thought this through, but the brand is a lot, right? Everything needs to, it's from colors to mission to professionalism to making sure everything is the same across, marketing channels and these kind of things. But it's really only half the battle, right? The marketing is designed to help people create a idea of what it's like, what the experience is like to get into business with you. But that only brings them to the door. The other part of that is to become the local economist of choice and to be super practiced in your presentations and know how to guide the conversation from one place to another, learning, closing techniques and all these kind of things, so that when the marketing works, you can take that inquiry and say, okay, now we're going to do some paperwork, right? Now we're going to actually get this process started. Great job. Molly, what are you excited about?
So since I'm so new, really, I'm just excited to go out there and meet people and have conversations. Growing my database, I think right now is a really good time for me to be getting all of these foundations into place, so that I can really, start off on the right foot, start off with success, and maintain and grow that success over time, with good solid foundations here. So, I'm super excited to be a part of the team, and thank you guys for having me.
All right, absolutely. Candace, how about you? What are you most excited about for 2022? And what is the primary project you're working on right now to prepare yourself?
So I have an opportunity to help a builder develop a community of 38 homes. I'm extremely excited about it because it puts me back in new construction. And so I'm preparing by learning as much about the development process as possible, starting today by meeting a developer.
Nice. All right, do some research. Good job. Ebony, how about you?
I'm still coming up with my plan for next year, but this year I will be taking the year to focus on myself, because until I am where I need to be, nothing else will follow.
Okay. All right. So we're always building habits. Actually, speaking of that, I posted a link, and it might have gotten kind of lost in the shuffle yesterday, but it is on. It is a newer episode of, where is it? Yeah, here we go. A newer episode. I'll post it again in the help group, of Gary Keller on the One Thing podcast, talking about vision and goal setting. And that's probably a really great listen, so that you can be, continue to prepare. I'm looking at the wrong screen, I just realized. Okay. Melissa, how about you?
Well, Bill, I guess at this point in the year, I could say I'm excited for what will be like my first ever closing in the new year. I'm working with a couple buyers, but for what they're looking for, it's probably not going to happen until after Jan 1. And then I'm working on getting my systems in place. So when I am prospecting, since I choose to do open houses a lot, and now I kind of really love door knocking, just getting those solid systems in place for those prospects when I meet them.
Beautiful. Remember, just a quick reminder to everybody, we set up these systems pages. And what I wrote in the email most recently to you guys is, if you can send me your income goal for 2022, if we have not already gone through the systems for the systems document, then send me the number of dollars that you'd like to make, and I can create that document for you specifically. And you can have a private copy where you can download and change things around and make notes and edit it according to your goals. And it has the Life by Design form baked in there. It has the economic model in there as well, lots of information. And it also has a form, which I'm going to show you guys here in just a moment, called the Foundational GPS. Okay, who did I miss? I think I'm good. Any questions from anyone right now?
What about you, Bill?
You guys are great. So right now I am, so there was a long time ago, I created a document that I called Bill Inc. And what I did is I put kind of all of the things that I had interest in, right? Whether it was coaching or recruiting or my sales team or coaching, leadership and these kind of things. And I kind of just put them in, like, it was almost like an organizational chart. And what I've gone back and done is, at the beginning of each year and end of each year, I'm constantly like writing down ideas and thoughts and journaling and these kind of things, and making models and trying to figure stuff out. And so this time of year, I always kind of go back to all of those and I say, oh my gosh, okay, I set that as a 1-year goal, set that as a 3-year goal, set that as a 5-year goal. Okay, that's already happened. Okay, well, is that still important to me? And so I'm kind of re-looking at a lot of that stuff to essentially push me to validate that thought again, right? So like, is, starting a podcast still important to me? Is writing a book still important to me? Is helping people buy and sell homes still important to me? Right. So every year I'm kind of reproving it to myself, and I'm trying to. I'm fully aware that my brain is interested in participating in more things than my body is, and my time is physically able to do. And so I have to rank my stuff all the time, right? And there's a really cool picture. I'll see if I can find it in some of the training material. But Gary and Jay talk about this in the one thing. They say, there's so much to learn. There's so much to do, right? And there's so many people to help. Like, you're not going to be able to learn everything you want to learn, period, right? You're not going to be able to do all the things you want to do. And you're not going to be able to help all the people you want to help, period, right? So now the question is where do you feel like your gift is, and who are the people that are going to get an opportunity to receive that gift based on your passions and your bandwidth and your financial situation and all that stuff. So this is the time of year where I kind of get a little ethereal and go up to like that 50,000 foot view and try to say, hey, that project I'm going to spend some more time on. That project, forget about that. That project, I know somebody who can do that better, right? And that's kind of what I'm up to right now. That's not a very clear answer, but every day it's getting more and more clear, right? I'm taking it every day. It goes from the 50,000 foot view to the 49,000 foot view to the 48,000 foot view. You see what I'm saying?
I am so glad I asked. What I'd like everybody to hear from what Bill said is that he's thinking not only about what he wants to accomplish, but he's attached year goals to it, like 1 year, 3 year, 5 year. So he's thinking long range. And as a business owner, that's one of the very best things we can do. So when somebody says, where do you want to be in 5 years? You can answer it. It might change, but you've got a path. And that's really important. So I'm very glad I asked. And I love that you're taking your perspective up over and not down in the weeds, so that you can see the whole picture. I think that's just very valuable. I hope everybody has an action because of that.
Yeah, you have to, and that is kind of I've alluded to this many times, is this idea of like we spend pretty much our entire day in the weeds, right? We're either dealing with how the leads are going to come to us, servicing the leads, handling whatever fire supposedly is happening in our real estate deals, and then trying to track everyone down that we're trying to track down. And very rarely do we go into the CEO seat and say, how's everything going down there? Right? Are all my workers doing what they need to do? Do they have all the resources and tools they need? Are they thinking the way they need to think? Do they have the appropriate amount of money to do their job? Like all of these kind of things. And that causes me to say, you know what? I'm not putting enough time into that. How am I serious about that? Am I kidding myself? Or is this something I'm going to recommit to? Have I let people down? And if so, how do I fix that? Right? Did I set bad expectations? Did I not have the time? Did I not keep the time? Do I have poor habits in some area? Right? So that's kind of where that's what's going on in my head today. Well, that's a very small portion of what's going on in my head today. It's very hard to be in my head. Okay, I want to share one other document with you, which is called the Foundational GPS. And I'm going to take a really quick picture of this and put it into the chat. This is in our Google Drive in 1,000 different places, but I will take a picture of this anyway and send it over for ease. And what this document is kind of a gut check for your business. Okay, so what I suggested, and I also did a quarter GPS. So like, for example, instead of saying, this is what I intend to accomplish in 2022, you could say, this is what I intend to accomplish the first quarter of 2022, right? The numbers are a little lower, and it's a little bit more definable. It's a bit more achievable. There's more like check-in points, so to speak, right? So you can do this a lot of different ways, but I'm going to encourage you to look at your business in 3 primary sections, okay? One is leads, pipeline creation, and appointment holding, right? No business can be able to survive without leads, none, okay? So you have to ask yourself, do I have a database to support my goals? Is it appropriately segmented? Do I have, how healthy is it? Do I have the appropriate amount of information from all of these people? And if not, do I have a plan to get it, right? So for example, Ryan might have all these people's telephone numbers, but does she have the email addresses? If she needs the email addresses, what is she going to need to give the people potentially in order to get the email addresses? So maybe they say, hey, fill out this card or whatever with your email address, and we'll email a video of the winner of this drawing or whatever, right? So what do you have to almost barter for that information? Okay. Do you have a pipeline in place?
I'm sorry, Bill, I'm just laughing. Your picture, your thing came through, but it looks like you're praying in the middle of the document, because you're holding your hands and they show up. It looks like
oh my goodness.
So just I'll
take a cleaner.
Yes.
I'll take a cleaner copy when I'm not staring out into the window here. In just
Why does it look like
second.
he's praying? Oh, it's because you took the pictures.
We got to pray a little bit too for 2022, right? So do we have a pipeline, right? Have we kind of taken a look at the people that we've been in courtship with and saying, hey, am I aware of enough people that intend to buy or sell this year in order to hit my goals? Or do I need to go into my database and create some urgency? Or do I need to go out of my database and find some new people who need a place in my database, right? And do you have a system for the lead generation that you intend to do, right? So what are the primary ways that you intend to lead generate, right? Do I know how many appointments I need on a monthly basis, or even on a weekly basis or quarterly basis, right? Do you know how many listings that you need to take? Do you have a calendaring system in place, right? By the way, the systems sheet that I can send to everybody, again, send me your income goal and I'll send you the sheet, has all kinds of hints and tricks and tips for calendaring, okay? Do you have a GPS in place? If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a lot of videos on GPSs, and they're included in the emails that I've sent out and the productivity coaching resource list. Send us a draft, Candace or myself, and we'll give you some feedback. I know the first version's not going to be that great. Neither was mine, right? But now it's really good because it's had 1,000 different people look at it and give me feedback on it, right? The next question that you really need to look at to prepare yourself for 2022 is skills and presentation, right? If the marketing works, if your Facebook ads work, if you the right people walk into your open house, are you going to be able to do your part, right? Do you have the presentations buttoned up? Do you know the marketplace? Are you able to share with somebody why they should hire you instead of someone different, right? Are you role playing your scripts? Do you have a pre-listing package? All these topics to make sure, hey, we got 6 or 7 weeks before the end of the year, right? Are you going to think about this stuff in February, or are you going to think about this stuff today, right? Because your competition is thinking about it today. Okay. Am I committed to mastering several skills, right? And what are they? So maybe this month you are going to be the best damn person in the universe at buyer presentation, or you're going to figure out how smart plans can work for you or whatever. Okay. And then section 3 is database growth and tech integration, right? So do I have the appropriate number of people in my database, right? Am I writing handwritten notes? Am I consistently speaking to the people in my database? Am I constantly thinking about information to share with them, or trying to figure out what they want and what problems they're experiencing and how to solve it? I mean, you guys, somebody is getting insanely rich over at Ribbon. Do you not agree with that? Is that not a freaking amazing idea? Okay, there's a lot of people that need money out there. It's basically a bank disguised as a real estate firm. Is it not? Okay, so look for the problems in the marketplace and go find a solution for them before anyone realizes they have the problem, right? And how are you integrating social media, right? Can people come to expect certain things from you? Like, do you post something about the local market on Tuesdays? Do you post something about market stats or happy news or an inspirational quote or any of that kind of thing, on a particular day? What can people come to expect from you, right? Because when they see you behaving in a consistent way, they will say, hey, that Ryan, I don't need to worry about deadlines when I got my file with her, because she wakes up every day, she sits at her desk and she makes sure that all of her people are taken care of. You see what I'm saying? So this document is really designed to be a kind of a reminder of all the foundational pieces, or a bunch of the foundational pieces, to make sure that, look, if you don't know how to give a seller presentation, I don't know, like, you're going to have to do that. Like, what are you waiting on, right? Let's go figure that out. Because if somebody were to call you and say, hey, come list my home, isn't that what you're dreaming of? Like, be ready. You see what I'm saying? So you got to take time every single day to get smarter and practice every single day. All right, guys, Bold is about to start. I'll send you a couple of these documents via the WhatsApp chat in a bit. And we are going to postpone the event with Westland that we popped up on Thursday. I apologize for teasing you on that. I do recommend that you go to North Atlanta to visit with Bob Lucido. He's the number 2 agent in all of Keller Williams, 180,000 agents. He's the number 2 agent. He's out of Baltimore. And he's going to be in North Atlanta tomorrow, teaching about tips for building your business. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Hello. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you can hear me when I do this.